Okay, so today we're going to have a look at an add-in for Blender, which I didn't know I needed until I found it, essentially. So it's called Simple Blend, and you can get it from the Blender Marketplace. It does cost $8, but frankly, for the amount of time it's going to save me, I think it's well worth the effort and the money. Okay, so we need to install it first. So just go to Edit and Preferences, and under Add-ons we need to install. So I have mine stored in my Blender folder somewhere. Where's my Blender folder? There it is, and there it is, Simple Blend. Now I've already got it installed, so I'm not going to install it, but just install add-on there. It will come up in this list, it will filter out, it will be unticked, you just need to tick it. If I press simple there it is, so it will come in unticked, just tick it. Okay, so quick demo then. Let's add a cylinder, there it is. Let's just make it a bit taller. Whoops, that's fatter. And let's put it down like that. Okay, right, so I need some geometry to be able to actually bend this. So what I'm going to do is just use an edge cut to cut in the middle, and then we'll bevel to give us some geometry. So I'm going to press tab to go into edit mode, and then I'll use the loop cut just to put one loop in there, and then press Control and B for Bravo and just drag that out. So make sure you've got enough segments in here to do the job. 14 is plenty, I think, for this. Right, so let's press W to go back to select mode, and what I want now is to select that geometry. I could have left it selected, it's my fault. So if I want to select this, I'm going to go into X-ray mode and poly selection, and then just drag box over that little section and turn X-ray mode off again. Okay, so to activate Simple Bend, right click with your selection and select Simple Bend, and you'll get these little crosses appear in various directions. So if I grab this one and move it that way, you'll see it bends, which is very handy. Now you can't undo that. To reset it, you just need to pick another one. So we've got bend in that direction, and if I use the vertical one here, it will taper, which you may want to use in some instances. And if I bend in that direction, it's fine, and if I go in that direction, it will taper. And the top one, I haven't exactly figured out what it does. It seems to be kind of a rotate and deform, but I'm sure somebody will tell me what that means. Right, so as long as you are happy with what you've done, you can press Q there. I'm just going to press escape to cancel. So let's do it properly. So I'll go Simple Bend. I want to bend it in this direction. Now, because I've got the middle part selected, it's kind of bending both ends. If I had just one end selected, which I'll show in a minute, it's only going to bend that end. Okay, so that's done it into a nice horseshoe for me, but I'm having a little bit of trouble controlling the angle. So the angle's displayed here, and if you hold shift down, it's going to snap to 5-degree increments. So that makes it quite easy to go to, say, 180, and that's good. And what else? So for the simple bit, that's about it really. You can't combine two actions in one, you have to do it twice, but I think that's okay. It's still pretty damn quick. So once you've achieved your desired bend, you press Q and you think you're done. But we have this Simple Blend down here really, and I can still change it if I want to. There we go. And so we can update the angle, we can do selected only. Selected only will only bend the selected geometry. It's going to leave these bits on its own, which doesn't really do me much good in that case. We have edge mode, which we'll get to, and then we have the fixed mode. So the fixed mode is which end is fixed. So this is essentially three pieces at the moment. We've got our unselected above, we've got our unselected below, and we've got our selection. If I go through my fixed mode, so 0 moves in one direction. If I move to 1, it's going in another direction, and if I move to 2, it's going in another. So you've still got some control here, even when you've actually, quit the tool or press Q to add it. Okay, so that's that one, really handy. In the next section, I'll go through a few of the other options you've got here to, really get some good use out of it. So I'll talk to you then. Okay, so let's add some geometry down here to work with. So just cut in there and then Control B, bevel that out a little bit. And I want this close to the end, so I'm going to move it up. W for select mode, let's grab that, G and Z and up. There we go. So I want all of that selected. There we go. Right, let's go into front mode. Whoops. Side mode. And right click and simple bend. So I'm getting nothing. Why am I getting nothing? Well, I'm getting nothing because I'm an idiot. I'm not in polygon mode. If you're not in polygon mode, it's not going to work. Not in this case anyway. We'll show that in a short while. So right click and then simple bend, and now I've got my options. So again, I can bend and it will bend as we want to. If I don't want it to sort of bend in, like that, we have some options here. So we can press C to change fixed part, and we have three options. There's the original, and press C once and then C again, and you'll get the other options until we find the one you want. So now I can sort of bend this, as I want to, and jobs are good. We also have the S key for selected only. I haven't found a use case for this yet. I haven't been using it long, so bear with me. But that will only bend what you have selected. What you haven't selected, it's going to leave exactly as it was. So I can press S again there to cancel that. And we have W to swap axes. And again, I haven't really found a use for that just yet, or that it works at all. I'm sure it does, it's just I haven't found it yet. You'll be pleased to know that the developer has a tutorial on this, so I'm just demonstrating on his behalf, really. Okay, so that's that one. And in the next section, we're going to have a look at an option, let's press Q, called Edge Axis Mode. And that helps us when we're bending and our sort of unselected parts are not, either straight up and down or left and right. Okay, so I'll talk to you then. Okay, so let's have a look at this edge axis mode. If I select a loop around there and just increase that a little bit, and then right click and simple bend. When I bend this, it's going to do weird things. You see at this end, I'm getting stretching, at this end it's like compressing. Well, that's what the edge mode is for. Sorry, excuse my ums and ems. So let me just press escape to quit that tool. Now what I need to do is switch to edge mode and then select or deselect and reselect two edges pointing in the direction that I want to bend. So I'm just going to hold shift down and select that one, and then I'll reselect them. And then still in edge mode, I can right click and go simple bend, and now I get this line, and you'll see that I'm having a slightly better time of it bending. It's not perfect, but I think that expecting perfection, you're going to be disappointed a lot of the time. Okay, so that's it essentially. It's a bit of an advert for him, really. I think he's done a terrific job. $8 is pretty cheap, and he's going to save me a lot of time, messing about, trying to do it with bridges and different axis modes and moving the 3D cursor and all that malarkey, which is just a pain in the bum. Okay, so I hope you found that useful. I'll put a link to his page down the bottom if you're interested, and I'll talk to you again soon. Oh, by the way, I'm not affiliated with him. I don't get any kickbacks, anything like that. It's just appreciation.